you know, there are times when, if something is done that is really detrimental to the relationship, you forgive because that's what God expects, but it doesn't mean that the relationship will continue or that it stays the same.
I guess the issue that I have is the part about
where it says, but only when necessary.
Yeah, because the forgiveness is about what is necessary. Forgiveness is something you have to do because as children of the Most High God, we are supposed to forgive, and that's no additional, not when it's necessary. You forgive because that's what God called us to do.
Okay. All right, so we'll go with that. I agree. I think that you forgive, but I do think that there are times when, because of whatever it is that's taken place, the relationship changes. But the forgiveness should be there because that's what's expected. So you forgive, and in some cases, the relationship won't be the same because of whatever that took place. She is dependable. I think that's a good trait. I think dependability looks different in dating than it does in marriage, because I think in I'm going to go but so far, because certain things I don't know that you would necessarily have access to, while if you're married to the person, you would be expected to be dependable. But I also think it kind of depends on the person and what exactly they're looking for as far as being dependent, being dependable. Are you muted again?
Yes, I am. And okay, so dependable.
Remember, it's just the two of us, so you can't be muted the whole time.
Jackie's there. Jackie's here.
Okay.
Yeah. Dependability is about being dependable on. Like, am I dependable because you need money? You could always count on me to give you money? Am I dependable to come do your laundry or cook for you? So I think in a relationship, in terms of we are dating, meaning that you depend on me to be on time, to respect your time. You depend on me to be honest and be truthful of what we say. You depend on me to that when you're being vulnerable, that I'm going to be a deep listener, that I'm going to hear some of your concern and issues to be able to really be there for you. I'm dependable when you say that I'm going to do something, I do it.
Right.
Not when I change my mind, but in marriage, that dependability is different. It comes with a level of trust and expectation.
Exactly. Well, that's basically what I said. That it does in marriage. It's different. It's just deeper. You're dependable in all kinds of ways, from taking care of the home, taking care of the family, taking care of him, being his safe space, being his mirror when he needs it, being honest with him when he needs it, knowing that whatever he says to you will stay there, that you're his safe space, all that kind of good stuff. Okay.
So you have Felicia and Jackie here.
Oh, okay, because I'm on the other page.
Miss Felicia and Miss Jackie, a moderator.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem.
All right.
Can you
I apologize, guys. I was on the page that I have the list of qualities.
Okay. Can you just do a quick recap of the topic for us again?
Yes, 16 qualities that a man should be looking for in a date/marry. I've gone over 4 of them. We can go back over them if you like. one. First one, and Shamin and I went over this a little bit. She is forgiving, but only when necessary. She is dependable is number 2. So number 3 is she's honest for it. She encourages you. So far, we've only 2. We did she's forgiving, but only necessary, only when necessary. And we went a little back and forth with that because I felt that you're forgiving because that's what God requires. But in your forgiving, depending on what you're forgiving for, and depending on is give, but the relationship changes. Because if the person does something that's detrimental to the relationship and you're not married, you may not have that. You may forgive, but you may want to move on. While if you're married, you're going to forgive and try to work through whatever whatever the residue is, whether you're still upset or whatever, you're going to you work through that because, marriage is till death do us part.
So this is 16 qualities that men are looking for.
Yes, that they should be looking for.
That they should be looking for. And
yes.
Is it the men who said this?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering.
But they're not bad qualities. They're not. Because if they were really bad, I wouldn't have even bothered bringing it.
No, but it's good. It's good that it came from men because we wouldn't be able to say, what they're looking for.
No, we would say what we are looking for in the man.
Right. Because then, like, people such as Brother Hananiah down there would be like, well, how you know that that's what we want, right?
Exactly, right? So do you want to go over number 1? She is forgiving, but only when necessary.
Well, forgiving. So I'm assuming that the quality is forgiving. Are we gonna?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to think that that's what they would be for as well as us. So forgiving is one. What's the second one?
She is dependable.
Okay.
And I was saying that it looks different. The looks different in dating as than compared to.
Actually saw a clip. Actually said that men will go for a woman or will many times end up with a woman who is killable more than one that he's able to with on other levels. Now, I don't know how true that is. It was a man who said it, actually a pastor. He said that many times men want to know that you're going to be there. You're consistent,
Okay, I see that.
Think about that, Brother Hananiah. You want to, but he said that is more important to some men, more important than being able to connect with them, as far as conversation, as far as actually is what he said. So I don't know how.
But don't you need all of it though? Yes, I think it's important that she's dependable, but I think you also need her to be a good communicator. You need her to be kind. You need her to be compassionate.
That's what we say. But what
no?
I would like to think I agree with you. That I agree with you. However, what men say is that, I mean, of course it depends. I know that that's not every man or whatever. However, this was a man saying it, and the men who were around him agreed.
Okay.
Yeah. But so we might be doing all of these all of these,
right?
and all we got to do is just be there.
All we needed to do is show up. Okay,
Just
never
show,
stop.
just show up, be there, take attendance. She's here on Monday. She's here on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know what to tell us. I don't know what to tell us.
Okay.
Okay, so
Number 3.
3. What was 3?
She's honest and never apologizes.
For being honest, never apologizes. Okay.
You know what? I think it's good that she's honest and she never apologizes for it, but at the same time, I'm wondering, because one of the things that I try to be is not just honest, but to be mindful of the words that I use, because you can be honest and be brutal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and be hurtful, and I don't think that's necessary.
Right. I believe that what do we mean by honest, right?
Exactly.
Because
You know, we're not trying to kill you.
be honest, and every time I'm telling you something as if I'm badgering you, or you know, am I saying it in a way
Exactly.
where it's lifting you up? Is my honesty lifting you up, or is my honesty, you know, knocking you upside your head? You know, because it's always like, so that one's, it depends on, you know, what we mean by honest. But when you say never apologizes for it, that makes me think that sometimes it's you know, may not always be constructive, you know. That's
To me, I think without being harsh.
Right.
I think you can choose your words and choose your tone so that the person, you know, he gets that you're making, whether it's that he's done something, whether you're upset about something, whatever it is,
Yeah.
but you say it in such a way where he gets what you're saying without you, you know, throwing something that's helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. So let's say, for example, God forbid, you know, he loses employment, you know, my honesty could be, you are never contributing anything. You just never contribute. You know what I'm saying? But wait a minute.
You always.
You know, you just eating up all the food I buy. You know what I'm saying? So that may be honest, but that's an issue. You know, like, why would I say that when I know he unfortunately lost his job? You know, so yeah, that's honest, but I don't think what I'm saying is, yeah,
it's not helpful
it's
at all.
helpful. Food. You know what I'm saying? Every time I cook, you just chew it. You know. Yeah.
I don't think that they're really incredible at those characteristics when they put them down. They didn't anticipate women looking at the list, operationalize them in such an extent. Like, what do you mean by honesty but never apologize for it? In other words, you look really bad in this picture that you keep wearing, think you look good, but I'm not sorry for hurting your feelings that you don't look good in that shirt. I mean, come on. I don't think they were thinking about that. They're thinking about, oh, she's honest. She's like, you know, baby, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm not going to apologize for that.
When you have to hold that mirror up to him, something, and understanding that, you know, he's not going to feel good about it, but it's the truth. And that you could still do it, but you need to do it with kindness. It's not necessary to try to, you know, break the person down. But that's me. You know, I always think about it because I'm like, if it was on the receiving end, I'm not going to be good with that. Mm-hmm. So we going to be nice.
Yeah.
The next, she knows how to have fun.
Okay, I think that's a good one. I would like to think that our mate would want to be able to enjoy us, and we do fun things, and we're laughing, and yeah.
I think so. I think I'm fun sometimes. No, you're gonna have people up in the mountains sweating because they've been walking for 4 hours.
Okay, so see, our definition needs to be clear. It's fun for us, man. We had a spa getting facials and pedicures and manicures.
Oh, I like that. That's fun for me. I like that.
Oh, it's fun, man. Because I like sports, but I like sport live. I can't
But
sit in front of the television to watch sport. Should that be fun rather than sitting there for 8 hours in front of a tube?
I think also, you know, like how when we would get together at Cheryl's and we're cracking jokes and carrying on and stuff. I think that would be considered fun, right? Because you know how to tell jokes, you know how to be funny, you know how to get in where you fit in, kind of thing, and go with the flow. I think that.
Okay. This will be clear. That's
It's different people. She challenges you. Now, when they're talking about challenging you, you know, does she, when they say
honey, you've been wanting to start this for a long time. But what I'm saying is that there's something you do, and you like, okay, I know you can do this. I know you have the kitchen to do this. I did in you. I see greatness in you. Otherwise, I would.
But that's not challenging, though. That's more encouragement.
But that's a challenge, because that's.
A dead spot. But what I was thinking is that's not really challenging. That's more like encouragement. I was thinking challenging would be where because of she is and because of the way she carries herself, it kind of pushes you to be more.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
For sure, that, or, you know, hey babe, you know, you have so much talent in this area. Why don't you think about starting this business? You know.
Okay, so that would be the same, like what you mean then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Felicia's been very quiet. Is she still there?
Felicia is wondering why. No, look,
I'm still here.
I'm putting words in her mouth. But okay, I'll say that. I'll say that later.
What were you going to say, Jackie? We can talk about it afterward.
Yes.
I even the help.
I get it.
I remember what you said, so I went there directly.
We'll have it together by next week.
Okay. She's going to kill me. I'm trying.
Okay.
All right. Okay. She finds humor in the hardest times.
I think that's a good trait to have. Quality. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That was the whole.
That's all I got. Cause my brain. Look, cause my brains are too tight. That's all I got.
My God, it's a lot. I can't even blink. I'm telling you, the brow is stuck.
Okay, I'm gonna need that to be operationalized in terms of.
Oh, go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm gonna need to know what do you mean and what? Somebody's dying. I'm cracking jokes. What is it?
Well, I don't do it somebody's dying, because I'm not gonna. But I would think, like, like when Jackie was talking about the losing of the job thing, you make a joke to kind of ease the tension. Something happens and you're in it. I think that's a good thing, right? Some of the tension. No,
I think Shemin is trying to get at like never mind.
Go ahead. No, because you were talking about you would laugh. And
Remember
she
she was telling us about like
laughed at the funeral.
Yep. I would do it. I would do it all the way. I laugh.
No, but
I would laugh.
asking, like, what is it that we need to be? I'm asking, what is it that we need to have humor on, like, and I use that example because, I saw you flop and almost knocked out
The casket.
the casket. I thought that was hilarious, but
I would laugh.
Exactly.
And I would have been mortified.
See, you mortified.
I would have been like, whose baby is this?
I'm telling you, the parents today around.
I probably would have been laughing so hard that I would almost die. Do you hear me? Like
I
it would
would
have got to
laugh.
the point where I probably couldn't breathe. Okay, listen,
Lord.
it might have been what it might have been what somebody needed at that moment. Like when you can't breathe, tears are running down like flowing, and you have to excuse yourself out of the building. Like
I can see you and who was doing it? I can see you and Shameen doing that. I can see that. I probably would, like I said, I probably would have been mortified. And, maybe later after we leave and we talk about it, I might find a little humor. But probably at the time, I'd be like, whose baby is this? Somebody come get their kid. You've kicked over the casket, and now look at what I just would be like, dear God.
That was hilarious.
I know I would be like, oh my God.
Dion and I laughed so hard when they were looking at us like.
Exactly. Like, you all need to leave because you have no manners.
Now, if there was like if there was a loved one there and they were taking it really bad and that happened, like the casket almost got tipped over and the loved one was taken. I might be able to control myself then, because then it's either going to be a weeping or it's going to be a laughing. It's only
It's going to be bad either way.
It's going to be bad either way. Like I would prefer to do the laughing. Honestly, I would prefer to do that, but the weeping might take over. Yeah.
No more.
I think that would be part of finding humor in hardest places. But I also think, like, when something is hard is going on, like, I don't know, a loss of a job, some with financial, where it's a hard time, but you can still find some humor to lighten,
the mood. Yeah, I'm always that person because when I don't want to feel right, honestly, what I'm saying, I don't know how to relate to you. I'm the one who calls you up in the middle of which would be a distressing situation, and I am going to be cracking some jokes, not necessarily about the distressing situation, but
just jokes in
general. Yeah.
My God.
Oh my God.
Okay, listen to this. So, humor is that funny thing is that there are some people that may be too deep into the situation, may not find humor in that. Because, people that say that, when you're in a situation, I could call you and make you laugh. Not really, because it's different on who it is. So,
Right. I think if it's you and the person, you talk about whatever it is, for a moment or two, and then you go on to talking. I think that's how the laughing would take place. You know what I mean? They begin to talk about what's been going on in their life, what's been going on in your life, and you get to laughing, which can help. You know what I mean?
I'll find that for now.
It
really hard time because he was driving drunk, and he you know,
Wrapped himself around a pole.
And so at the same time, my other ex, right, had just left.
You have an ex?
Oh my God, these kids, and they are always in the business.
No,
Big shush. My other ex, he had just left, lost. Be quiet, I'm not playing.
You're in my business.
Lord have mercy.
Strike one. Anyways, my other ex was he had just lost his aunt, right? So I went to the funeral, right? And I was doing laundry earlier, and what happened was I had some things slip out. Okay, so yeah. So when I was on my way to taking the laundry to the car or something like that, I was gonna go wash or something along the way. I don't know what happened, but it like some underwear had attached to like something, right?
No, it was
like because they were lace, right? So it had attached to something like on some Velcro or something. I don't know, it was mixed in with something. So anyways, when I went into my pocket, right, to get out, like, so I picked it up really no one so with my pocket, right? And so when I went to go and get and I went to get my weight really cold, the underwear was attached to it. And so a whole big thing, right? It was a lot more than so. Anyways, I told my ex this, right? No, I mean he was at that time he was my current, right? But now he's my ex, and I was at the aunt funeral of the other ex when all this happened. So, anyways, I'll just call him and I never said like sorry for your loss or anything else like that because really I don't know how to do that. But anyways, I called him and I was just telling him this whole situation, so like we laughed until we cried for about 35 minutes, right? And so even he jumped in on the door. He's like, so you got like lace underwear just laid out in the middle of the I'm like, yeah. So like that whole thing, right? So that's what I would do.
okay.
So that's the quality right there. And
Well, that's a good quality.
well, yeah, but I mean, what else can you do if you don't know how to relate and say I'm sorry for your loss? And all you can do is make a joke. Otherwise, people they disband you. They put you out. You want to be a part of
Yes. Make it inside. You gotta make it inside and close that.
Give you 48 hours, see too. 48 hours if you don't respond.
Time's a ticking. Keep looking and keep.
But
on
God
ticking.
is good because we made it. We made it.
I made it. I made it.
Okay, number 8 is she is kind and compassionate.
Like
I think that's necessary.
Yeah, who wouldn't want that, right?
Exactly. Not only that, but and now I'm just being silly. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to do that. I think it's important that she be kind and considerate. Because life is hard and stuff happens, and you need somebody that can, you through it and treat you well, and you want that.
Sure enough.
Anybody
I'm
want
just
to add?
following the way, but I hope it's reciprocal. So I hope it's not one of those.
No, I would. It has to be reciprocal. That can't be, girls. You can't. You kind and compassionate. He's mean and that won't work.
We're gonna do that opposite attract.
Not that kind of opposite.
Not that opposite.
What she meant, anytime that like if you have these qualities, somebody might not have the same one, but they can have a complementary quality.
I think so, but here they just give us these 16.
Okay, let's keep going.
But I would think so.
Let's keep going.
I think, I would think so. Does anybody have anything they want to add to she's kind and compassionate?
Well, kind and compassionate. If they don't have that, what would be the complimentary? like what?
Somebody got to be the direct one and maybe the rude. Because look, if y'all both are kind and compassionate, maybe people are running over both of y'all.
No, maybe we are having a really good time in life because we are loving on each other. What do you mean?
No. You can be kind of be ruthless to the.
Well, sometimes it's got to be that way. You know, we're a
Wait a
team.
minute, ruthless though. I think
That's what I mean. Like I could be like that to the outside world, but to my husband, I can be very kind and compassionate. Where people like, I can't believe you married her, and they be like, my gosh, she's the nicest thing ever possible.
Well, that's possible because I think some people have like a different personality at work, so it's possible that they're harsh at work, or as you said, they're direct, not harsh. They're direct.
Yeah, because remember, that's what we read about Deborah from the Bible, right?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
where she was a judge and stuff like that, but when it comes time to go back home,
She's the wife, and she's wifey. Okay. She is positive. That is necessary, and I want that even in a man. He must be positive. You cannot have. In this case, I guess it would be Debbie Downer, because that's not helpful.
Pray for me.
I mean, I think it's. I think positive is just a necessary quality. Like, how would I mean? Can you imagine just being with someone who's always negative? Because I'm assuming that if you're not positive, you're negative, right?
Exactly, Debbie Downer.
I couldn't do that. Like,
I couldn't do that either because I believe in being positive, so I can't imagine. Because that means no matter what the person says, you come in with the other side where you're just like, okay.
That's just depressing. Like,
exactly. It's like, listen, if you keep this up, you know,
now
Mike, head out this window.
Yeah. Now,
so let's not do that.
Yeah. Now there's a great possibility that the person may not be as positive as you are. Because I think I face that a lot. Like, there.
Well, that's because you're just sunshine. So you know.
That's so funny.
But you are. You're very positive. That's a good thing. I love that about you.
Well, thank you. But I definitely couldn't do the negative person. No, like all the way negative. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, what? Not throwing out the window. What happened?
No, saying, they just make you so sad. You're just like, that's it. I can't take it. I'm out. I'm coming this window right here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, that would be a bit much. That would be a bit much. So, at least most times, someone being positive than not, would be definitely helpful. And then we can just encourage each other along the way. But you got to have something we can work with.
Yes. There are those that they will say, well, no, I'm not, I'm just a realist. But I still think you can be a realist without being negative all the time. Because I think in any situation, if you try hard enough, you can see something good or something that you learned out of the situation.
Yeah. So, like, Khalesia is writing in the chat. Oh my gosh. So now you'll know why I asked if you can punish your spouse. I am so done right now.
She's going to get an extra 5 minutes of prayer.
What kind of punishment? What kind of punishment would that be?
Oh, we talked about this. No, you cannot punish your spouse.
I mean, well, unless they like it, unless they like to be punished.
Well, yeah, but that's a different kind of punishment. That's the only kind of punishment I would be interested in.
Okay.
The other kind of punishment, I'm not.
Right, that part.
Yeah. Okay, 10. She's a good listener.
We have to be that, right? Like, how, if we're both, especially having a discussion or a communication, because that's part of communication, right? Which we know can be one of the number one causes of issues, problems. So yeah, we definitely have to listen if we want to know what to do, what can make our marriage better. Tracy, what are you drinking? It sounds great. Like,
Water. But I have a really nice glass.
oh, we
Makes me
can't
feel like I'm
see
having
it.
something.
I wish we could see it. Yeah, maybe one day next week we'll be able to see
I'm
it.
gonna
Okay, that's so awesome. That's
I
good.
think in being a good listener, I think you have to be an active listener. You know what I mean? You're paying attention to not only what the person is saying, but what they don't say, the words that they choose, their body language, their face, their eye contact. I think all of that is part of listening. Because sometimes they will say, they'll say yes, but they're shaking their head. You know what I mean? So you have to really pay attention. I think you need to be an active listener. And I also think, because it's something I'm working on, letting them finish what they're saying. Because sometimes I get excited and I have to stop myself because I will start talking before the person is done. And that's not good listening.
Yeah, that's very true. I think a lot of people have that issue. So that's something we definitely have to make sure we're working on, allowing people to talk. And yeah.
Okay, so here's my question. If
Yes,
you
ma'am.
already know what they say, do I have to let you finish?
Yes. Yes. Because you might be mistaken. You were going to say left, and they finish it off with right. And you have cut them off and gone in the wrong way because you thought they were going to say left and they said right. I'm just using that as an example. But I know also you have to think about, it's very frustrating because I know my sister does it. Half the time I want to punch her in the throat when you're speaking and she's already, because she just knows finish.
Yeah.
But it's also frustrating for me to sit there a whole another hour to let you finish, and I already know what you're going to say.
Maybe you
Well,
need
then you're going to hold yourself, because when you're talking, I'm going to let you say. And
you don't know what I'm going to say, though.
Oh, that's not true. Sometimes I already know, but you want to say what you want to say, and because we are friends, I'm going to let you say it.
An hour is a long time, though.
Why would it be an hour? You don't need to be talking an hour.
Well, some
My
people.
God, let me tell you, y'all be surprised. I'm talking about this man. And that's why my face, and see, my face probably don't go along with what you're talking about, because I already don't finish the conversation with me and you, and I just moved on to about
I
3
can
or 4
see you with your eyes rolling in every direction.
For sure.
Listen, I'm done with that conversation. I done moved on to another conversation. I'm part of your New Kingdom marriage by now, and it's only 3 o'clock.
Okay, so we're gonna continue working on being a good listener. We're gonna continue working on that because that's really important, and you want the person to feel heard.
Yeah. I do want to add this. Oh,
I apologize.
What are you apologizing for?
I was yelling at Joel and you guys were hearing it.
Oh,
you muted, so we wouldn't
we
hear
didn't hear
it.
And then you came back to let us know that that's what you were doing.
An excellent parent. Shaman, me, I'm the one on the clubhouse yelling at the child. We didn't hear anything from you.
No,
it's amazing.
Because you muted. My poor Bookin over there getting yelled at.
So, but I did want to add, like, one thing that I always mention, like when I'm doing counseling sessions, is that, do we really want to hear the other person, right? Do we really want to gain an understanding of what's happening, what's going on, what the actual issue is? Because most times when there's a disagreement, both parties are talking at the same time, or if it's really heated, yelling at the same time. So to me, that means that I'm not really looking to hear what you're saying. Because if I'm yelling and you're yelling, then who's listening? Who's actually able to understand what's happening? And are we really looking to solve the issue? Or are we looking to get our way? Are we looking, is that a selfish moment right there? So that's something that like we really have to be mindful of. Like, why are we both yelling at all? But definitely why are we yelling at the same time? So who's, just to see who can be the loudest, or are we really looking to, to solve whatever it is that's going on?
I think in some cases it's about wanting to be right and wanting to get their point across. Because I think if you're really about solving the situation, that's not going to happen. Well, I shouldn't say that's not going to happen. It shouldn't. We should actually take turns and let the other person say what they need to say.
Yeah.
That list, whoever made it, they didn't do no research to assess to see the validity or run any kind of study to see the effectiveness of that list. This is the list somebody made without even looking at or operationalize it to see if it's really effective. I'm just saying.
So that's what you have to offer to the good listener. Okay.
Yeah. No, to all the whole list. The fact, remember the workshop, being a man or how to be a man or whatever. One of the things that one of the speakers said is deep listener, and one of the key strategic ways that he mentioned that we should do that is count up to 30 seconds in your head, not out loud, in your head, to not try to come up with an answer, but to really listen to that person. And when that person is feeling that he's being heard or listened to, he's then able to share even more. He's able to be, there goes Jackie's favorite word, vulnerable. Okay. But I think also, if you're busy counting, are you really listening? Why can't you just listen? Why can't you just be quiet and listen? I just did it to you, and you didn't hear me counting, right? I was paying attention and listening. The issue is that a lot of times we are listening to counter instead of trying to counter. Just listen without having to have a counter, because that will allow us to hear the man and what he's trying to say, not just from his mouth but from his heart. And a lot of men is not feeling that they're being heard or they're being listened to, and especially and then not only that, they didn't have to come to the home feeling the same way. Right. Okay. Number 11, she takes charge of her life. I think they would like that. Say that again, please. I missed it. She takes charge of her life. She's asking for an awfully like a listener, and accountability, all this stuff. And you want me to take charge of my life? But I think we have a lot already.
Well,
okay, but we may have it to certain things to a certain degree, but I think taking charge of your life, where you are actively living your life, you are doing things and I like to call it, slaying dragons. You're out there slaying dragons.
I feel like they would want that, however, because they want part of it too. So if we're out there, making major moves and not sharing, not letting them know, I believe, and just that can be a little uneasy, or is the word uneasy that I'm looking for? It could make, I think, them feel a certain way. So, because they want to be a part, they want to be in the know, right? So yeah,
I can see that. We both leave in the morning to go do what we do, and then we come home, you know, and we talk about what we did for the day and that sort of thing. And they get to see you, you know, hear about you doing your thing. But I think if it becomes a situation where it takes over your life or it takes up too much time, they probably would have a problem with that.
Charge, like if we're married.
I thought about it. I wasn't thinking about it in the home because it says she takes charge of her life. So I was thinking, especially like in the dating stage, you know, you're doing your thing, you're working and whatnot. I'm hoping that you still are making space for whoever it is. You know, if not, you're gonna have problems.
So,
but
okay,
that's what I
so
was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess making space, but when you say take charge, you know, he's wanting her to take charge of her life. You know, I think about, you know, I don't know. I guess it could vary. Like, okay, is she going after that promotion? Is she starting her business? And
right. That's
I believe,
what I was thinking. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I believe they're fine with that. I believe, but they would of it in some way, even if it's to be an an ear, and also, you know, what is this? You know, honey bun. Sweet potato pie, you know, what do you know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe that they would like to have some type of, and just from experience, I would say some type of input, whether you go along with it or not. But no, I think they also want to see that you respect their input. You may not, you know, you just have to find ways to. If it's not something that you're looking to do, just, you know, handle that in the right way so that they don't feel like they're
like yeah, no one asked.
Right. Thank you, but no thank you.
No, you're not gonna say
we don't
that.
want that. Right. We want them to be comfortable and we want them to share. We want them to contribute their thoughts. Right? Yes.
I like the way you did that, Jackie.
You know, just in case somebody's trying to come back.
Mm-hmm. She respects herself.
Oh yeah, I would say they would want that. You know. Yeah, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't want that one.
No, because then that means that, you know, she will respect you and not do things that's gonna have you feeling away.
Did you all see the I don't know if I sent it to you all, but it was a video of a couple getting married, and the wife, the bride, showed up, and she had on like a really little piece of a dress, like a really little dress.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the dress was like really little. So, and it was like, you know, yeah, it was very little, and and was really taken aback.
He was mortified.
His face was like, "Are you kidding me? Did you really show up to get married in this little?"
Were they getting married in a church?
It was. I can't. I don't think it was a church. I don't think so. But he was very, looking at his face, he was very embarrassed by what she had on to get married in. I mean, his face like just told the whole story. And it was
maybe he didn't, you know, she might have been in the habit of wearing very sexy mini dresses and he thought it was cute.
But not to get married in?
But not to get married in?
Yeah, he was very,
you know,
like, what is going on? And you couldn't tell her nothing. She just knew that was like
she was sexy.
Yeah, and he was like,
did you send that to us?
I thought I did. But yeah, so that lets us know when we don't open up stuff, right?
Well, no, if it was sent yesterday, I know I didn't see it because I was asleep like by 6:30.
Yeah. It was something to think about, because in her eyes, and that's a good example of what we think and what men think can be different, right? Because I'm sure in her eyes she was like, ooh, when he sees me in this wedding dress, he is going to be like, yes. And he was like, yes, all right. He was
He's
like,
my mama is here. What are you wearing?
he was like, yes, what they said about you is right. That's what his face looked like. That's exactly what his face looked like. You know, like, yes, I'm about to get a divorce. Like what? Like that's what his face looked like. It was really,
Oh my God.
I felt bad. I don't know whether I felt more bad for her or for him. You know, but
Can you imagine? Because the family's gonna look at her, then look back at him like, you see this?
Right.
You marrying this?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because they probably, yeah, okay, I'm just going to end it right there because I'm about to add to the story, and I don't know. I don't know what they said. I don't know what they thought, but his face, he couldn't hide it. He couldn't hide what he thought at all.
Because he was just like, oh God, I'm going to have to do a lot of explaining.
Yeah, and then now it's all over social media, so he's really like, oh Lord, what have I done? You know. And she might be the sweetest that she could be, but
and she probably is. She's probably so.
She was happy. She was like, I'm gonna show my hubby.
My boo is gonna love this.
He's gonna love the fact.
Like, what were you thinking?
He's gonna be excited to take me on as his bride. That's what she may have been thinking.
Oh my God.
And he was not thinking that. So yeah.
No, he was thinking, I'm gonna have a lot of explaining to do. No, Mama, really, she's not.
No, she really is nice.
She really isn't.
Yeah. So.
But moving on.
Yes.
Number 13. She is genuine.
I would like to think that he wants that. You know? Genuine. Like, why not? Okay.
Yeah, want you to be yourself, want you to be authentic.
Gen 400, Alex. Yes.
But you know what? I guess, well, yeah, he'd want you to, because I think the same thing for a man. You would want them to be genuine. You'd want them to be themselves. You want to see the real person. You want to believe that, the person that's showing up on a regular basis is who they are. Right. We got 2 more. Hold on a second. Why is this doing this? Okay. Ooh. Okay. She accepts imperfections.
You have to. You should. But I mean, because
it depends on what the imperfections are.
Well, right, but then you know that is this. I mean, but we all have some type of imperfection. So
right,
I would think that she's weeded out the ones that she can't deal with. Right. So because if there's some that she can't deal with, then why are they even dating?
Then I don't think you'd be a couple. I don't think you would.
So we must be talking about, okay, I've decided now that, we want this to work. I want this to work. And then something comes up,
That's why, for me, I said it depends on if it's, you know,
Like if you're
you're not very neat,
yeah,
that can be worked on. You're a liar, that's not a good one.
not doing well at dealing with your anger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you're prone to violence.
So I would like to think that we know that those aren't, the things that will keep us.
Mhm.
So it must be something like not flushing the toilet or leaving the seat up or like those types of things. I'm thinking it
Mhm.
must be, dropping your socks by the door.
Right.
I guess those are the things that we're calling imperfections, maybe.
Can I
I don't know,
add? I'm sorry. I wanted to add something quick. Hi, I'm sorry it took me forever. I was on the phone with my aunt and I had to pray through the phone conversation. But anyway, that's a different story. I was thinking about this question and I can't help it not think about what if someone accepts the imperfection early on, or they accept it early on and then they keep accepting it, but then they get fed up with it. I don't think that's right. And then all of a sudden, years down the line, like if you knew your husband didn't wash his armpits, but you accept for a long time, and then yeah, right, like for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I think you need to start
Washing your armpits.
Yes. I don't think that's right. I think if you accept it in the beginning, you need to stick with it. Because that's going to hurt his feelings, and that's not his expectation. It's going to hurt his feelings, but it's been hurting your feelings.
Yeah, that's definitely where communication early on comes in.
Yeah. I think there's something you should say something the first time. Yes.
At least a second. Yeah. Maybe you don't say something the first time because you're like, it must have been a mistake. It was
maybe he was playing ball with the guy.
He didn't get to get back home and shower. The soap is not strong enough.
It could be his diet, so you could change his diet to see if that would improve.
Girl, no, I would buy new body wash, cologne, and deodorant and be like, I'm gonna try something different this time.
But that body odor is a bacteria, so you could have, have to change.
Well, we can change his diet, but we're gonna definitely work on the deodorant because no.
Yeah, because
so you'll be like, yo, baby, you thinking kind of, awful all the time. So
and you're accepting it all this time. Why are you fed up now?
Yeah, it's like, what happened to your smell, sense of smell? Or something?
I know the first time I would be like, wait a minute, what's happening?
I'd be like, excuse me, do you need time alone?
I know I would be like, were you exercising? Were you working out? What's going on? You're heading to the shower? Okay, great. Okay.
Is that such an imperfection, isn't it?
It certainly is.
But it was
because I don't think they would be happy with if it was the other way around. I think it would be a problem. Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Yeah, that's definitely something to address early on. And yeah, like because
Jackie?
Yeah.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
He certainly is.
I agree that there's a lot of things that need to be addressed early on, like passing gas, all these things.
Oh my God.
Early on, before I'm gonna accept that, and then one day like caught up like, oh my God, I can't breathe. Like, come on, I agree. Body odor is must be discussed on the list. On top of the finances as well. Because it could be some conditions that you need to be fully aware of. Like, don't bring your husband to this function because, There's like BO going on.
It's like he's not fresh.
You know, like now. So
He
I don't.
can't raise his hand because he's not sure.
You can't praise. You can't praise the way you praise. You gotta.
Mm-mm.
You gotta.
Right. I want
Like,
you
no,
to
gotta
give
raise
that.
his hands down.
Yeah, I want
It's
you-
not right.
Right, baby.
But no,
Don't jump
I
around
think
too
that-
much, baby. Don't jump around too much.
If there's something that you find, wrong, you should have a conversation and not let it go, out of the blue. You're right.
Think about it. You have to go out at times. So if I'm smelling it,
Immediately, know me. I would address it the first time because I would be like, "What happened?"
because
Why
then
is
they're
this-
looking at us like something's wrong with us. Like, why are you allowing your man to go out like this? So we're all
Now, if it's somebody else's man, I probably would just stand there looking at Joe and I'd be like, the first chance I get with her alone, I'm gonna be like, did you not?
Mm.
Because to me, I think that's something you address. We can't pretend. We address it. We're like, listen, I think you need to shower and change before we go.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
And I'll lay out a nice clean shirt for you. And let's get the cologne and right guard going so that you are good. Exactly. And we won't be able to go anywhere if you don't do something about this. Part in my head. I wouldn't say that out loud.
I want others to love you too, but at this rate,
Exactly. And not talk about us. Because people will be like,
'cause you know they
something
will.
was wrong. And the last one, you were going to say something? Okay, I thought someone was saying something. She motivates you when you don't want to do anything.
Oh well, yeah, that should be a given. That's what we should do.
I think we do
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
I think you have those conversations where you talk about, your brilliance and you're capable and, all the good stuff. I know you can do this.
Okay, but
What do you mean?
2 weeks ago, I motivated you. A month ago, I motivated you.
No, life is going on. Things come up. I don't think it's, maybe he's opening a new business. Maybe he is, I don't know, writing a book. Maybe he's,
I'm just
I don't
saying,
know.
it can't be like
Till death do you
every
part.
month.
Till death do you part. If
Wow.
you're married.
So let me ask you something, Sheree.
Ah,
Let me ask you something. You do stuff all the time. All the time. You are writing proposals, you are teaching courses, you are applying to Fulbright scholarships. You are, because you're one of those people that takes charge of your life. He's only supposed to say something nice and encourage you. How often?
okay, what I'm saying is, here's my thing. Here's what I'm saying, and listen to me.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, let's say you say you want to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
6 months ago, we talked about you going back to school. We laid out a plan. 7 months ago, we still laid out a plan. They did hit the submit button.
Mm-hmm.
8 months ago, you feel like, I really want to go back to school. You did. I'm just asking for my understanding and edification. How long am I going to motivate you?
Well, no, I think in a case like that, I don't think I would continue motivating. What I would ask then is, do you really want to?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because a lot of times we continuously say, oh, you know, I could do it, you'd be great. Oh, I could do it, you'd be great. Next week, oh, I could do it, you'd be great. I'm just asking how long do I have
No,
to
I wasn't thinking about it in that way. I was thinking about it more in, you know, he's doing things, you know, and things come up and he's feeling a little anxious about it. And, you know, I don't know, like I said, he's opening a new business. He is writing a book. I don't know, he's doing something. He's running a triathlon, whatever. He's doing something. You know, you encourage.
I'm just asking.
I think those are two different things, though, because I think in a case like that, there's an underlying situation that probably needs to be addressed. Instead of just encouraging, there probably needs to be a conversation about, you've been saying that, but, you know, there seems to be something holding you back. So what's going on? Are you sure you want to do that?
Okay. That's what I was talking about, the how long, because there's a lot of time we want to encourage people, but it's like we're just breathing air. We encourage them to, and they're not making the step. And then it's after a while, it gets frustrating and tiring. So,
Yeah.
So I'm not referring like there's some students out there do this, and I don't have to encourage them. They'll like, I got it. I'm never, okay, let me walk you to step A. When you finish A for me, I'll do B with you. You know, I'm just asking.
Right, but I think it would depend on the situation and what they got going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because just like how you said, there's a student that would be, you know, you tell them you need to do this, and bam, they're on it. And then you're like, great, thumbs up, go do it. And then you have the other where you're like, okay, we're going to meet up, and I'm going to help you get this application done. Great, the application goes in. Okay, we're going to meet up and pick the courses. Okay, we're going to meet up and make sure you have your books and your notebooks and you know what the classroom is and that sort of thing. And then we meet up to help you study. So I think it would depend on who he is and what he's got going on. Want to add to it?
I think
I definitely be reminded of all my motivation kind of not being heard, and then they aren't putting the action to the words. Then it would turn into something else. It would just turn into, oh, okay, well, you're not interested. Okay.
Right. But that's why I think if you find that, you know, they keep saying that's what they want to do, and you guys have had that motivating talk and push in that direction, it's not happening, then at least for me, I would want to have a conversation about what's going on, because you're saying that, but it doesn't seem like that's happening. Have you changed your mind? You want to do something different? You know, that kind of thing. Jackie? She always has something really good to say with that kind of stuff. You know, she always has the right words, I should say.
that's very funny. That's very funny. No, I think you all have handled this one here. Yeah, I'm good with this one. I think no. Well, honestly, I think we definitely want to be encouraging. We want to be dating, but if we do find that there's always something underlying, you know, there must be a reason why you have to continue. We have to continue to motivate you in this area. So either it's that you really don't want to do it, you don't know how to say it, or there's some type of fear somewhere, or you know, an insecurity. So what is the actual cause? So I would actually, I guess, dig a little deeper and see what else is really going on, because there's no sense in us continuing in this if it's not something that you really want. But if it is, then let's tackle the real issue. So that would be my thought for that.
Okay. Well, wow, we are well after.
Yes.
I'm surprised Jermaine didn't get me after the time. But to my defense, we ran into a little technical difficulty in the beginning.
Got it.
So I think we are going to put a pin in it here because it is now 9:57. I want to thank you all for being here and going through the questions with me. Well, the statements, I should say, that 16 different subjects that topics that men think women should have when dating and looking to marry. Some of them, a little more obvious than others. And they definitely gave us something to think about for ourselves and potential or future spouses. Hannah and I are here, and with us, we are here on Mondays, Wednesdays,